Welcome, Mechwarriors. I'm Robert, and this is Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries. If you look at the news article, you can see that we're actually mentioned for our continued defense of the Transpac station. The other article provides some background and begins to set up the political conflict that's going to become very important in our choice of contracts later in the campaign. In our case, politics are going to be a secondary concern. Usually we're just going to try and keep the company alive. So moving on to the free market, since we didn't get any salvage from the last mission, as it was a pretty easy milk run, we did get a bunch of money, and I'm going to purchase a Bushwhacker. Now the Bushwhacker is an interesting mech, because even though last time I said that most mechs with protruding center torsos were vulnerable, the entire flank of that protrusion on the Bushwhacker actually counts as side armor, so it's not as vulnerable as it should be. Now here I'm going to name the Bushwhacker Merkava and use the Desert Saber camo just because I think it kind of resembles the Merkava tank, and I've always had an appreciation for that tank's aesthetics. This Bushwhacker will probably be my mech of choice for the foreseeable future. It's the maximum weight in the medium class, and we won't have access to heavier mechs for quite a while. As for loadout, this is pretty well mixed, though I'll upgrade it with better versions of these weapons as we progress. I briefly consider selling the Owens, but we might need a spare chassis, and it's already pretty much equipped and ready to go. Now, Industry Raid is going to be the first real test of our company, so for a second I consider struggling through the escort mission.
This sabotage contract is pretty straightforward. We need to drop their power grid and take out the objective buildings. The Black Cobra Mercenaries defending the base have a mix of light and medium mechs in the area. A prolonged engagement could go badly for us. Use discretion in engaging them head-on.
Initial recon of the base spotted a hole in the turret defense grid north of the complex and east of your current position. If you head directly to Nav Point Alpha, you should get a good approach on the base without triggering their defenses.
Roger, Control. Is Bird Dog still in the area?
Unknown. At least one of the defending mechs has a Beagle active probe and has been on perimeter patrol in their vicinity. Bird Dog went power down and radio silence an hour ago.
Copy. We'll keep an eye out for them. Okay, Spectre Lance, form up on me and give a ready report.
Ready up.
This is Mags. Ready up.
This is Hannibal. Ready up.
Intel reports we're up against Burr's Black Cobras. They're a hodgepodge merc unit with a couple of mixed medium and heavy lances. All reports indicate only their medium assets are in the area, but you never know. Stay sharp.
Roger, lead.
This mission is pretty cool. It introduces a few concepts. The first of which is not to approach the mission linearly. You are not just trying to force your way through the front door every time, and it really pays to scope out the map and pay attention to your surroundings. Now this bit of terrain makes me a little bit uneasy because sometimes the bots have a hard time pathing through it, and they tend to get stuck, so I'm checking behind me for that.
Nav Point Alpha reached.
Castle, this is Spectre. I'm at Alpha and have visual on the base.
From Alpha, you should be able to take out their main generator and drop their turret grid. The remaining objective buildings are in the vicinity of Beta and Gamma. You may need to move down into the base to target them all.
So again, I'm just sitting here, waiting and watching my radar. I don't want to start to make a move, because if anything starts to happen, if we start taking fire, then I do not want to be dealing with bots getting stuck on things. They're great most of the time, it's just sometimes they get a little stuck. And here I'm confident that the bots are free of their entanglement, so we'll start destroying this generator at range.
Generator is history. Turrets are offline. Take out the designated target.
Roger that.
So things are going to start popping off really quickly, so I'm going to hang back and let my lance mates move in to start taking some of that fire. These first few vehicles go down pretty quickly, but they really need to go down a little faster than this because the medium lance starts coming back as soon as you start opening fire on the base.
Destroyed.
Targets destroyed.
Enemy detected.
I have made visual contact.
Spectre engaging Black Cobra medium lance.
This is Lieutenant Dunman of the Black Cobras. You're outclassed here. Stand down and we'll let you leave with your mix.
Ha! We'll leave with our mechs, all right. And yours, strapped to a salvage track.
Commander, we don't have to take out the Black Cobras on this run. You can take out the buildings and exit the mission area.
Roger, Control. I'm aware of the mission parameters.
Roger.
Roger, lead.
So two things
Close
there.
up,
Firstly,
form on
that
me.
the missions are really up to you to sculpt, which is pretty cool and doesn't happen so much in linear single-player games. The second thing is now we've really got to focus on our battle tactics. The enemy's been split up, which is great for us. We're just going to dump all our fire onto the
Take out the
Chimeras
designated
one at a time.
target.
Roger, Spectre.
Their funky hitboxes don't afford them much help when we're shooting at them from every angle. The other thing I'm paying attention to is where my allies are on the radar, so I'm looking over to make sure if Mags is taking damage, because it looks like she's standing right in front of both of the other enemy Mags, which are both bushwhackers. So one of the important things to do is to leave your nav point, so that once your teammates start taking fire, you can order them to fall back and preserve their mech. And this is actually a really great example of the effectiveness of the Bushwhacker's armor. As you can see, the third bar is his center torso armor, but because of the funky hitboxes, he is actually spreading the damage out pretty
Rendezvous
evenly
at the
across
designated
his
nav
center
point.
left and right torso segments, so it's taking a long time to bring him down while wasting a lot of damage. If you look at my mech, you can see almost all the damage I've taken has been in my center torso. And it's partly because I tend to be looking at the targets when they fire at me, and also because the bots cheat and have perfect accuracy. And right there you can see Hannibal's indicator up in the top left has gone yellow, and that means he's taken a significant amount of damage. So I'm going to take a second and try and order him to fall back to nav point alpha, just to get him out of line of fire. Unfortunately, that turns out not to be necessary because the Bushwhacker really starts pushing for me, so I'm trying to turn and look away from him so he can't shoot my center torso. If you accumulate enough damage, the mech is going to become disabled, and you need to spend
Take
time
out the
repairing it
designated
between
target.
missions.
Roger, lead.
Roger, Spectre. Roger, 6.
Warning, damage critical. Weapon
Now that sounds
destroyed.
bad, and normally it would be, but the Bushwhacker's almost dead. Though you do get to see that you do lose equipment as you take damage, and that means we are down a medium laser, and I'll have to buy another one, and stocks are limited. Medium lasers, not so much.
Target destroyed.
Now here you can just smash through the factories with your mech's body. They did this because there are a lot of situations where the fight is really close, and you don't have enough weapons to actually destroy these buildings in any timely fashion, so you don't actually take splash damage from walking through buildings like this.
Objective buildings destroyed.
The fuel depot should be close to Gamma. Run a close sweep on the point.
So this just about wraps up the mission. We did really well. Usually I lose a pilot on this mission, so I'll leave you with the outro, and I hope to see you next time, Mechwarrior.
Castle. Spectre reporting mission successful. Let's get a salvage team in here to pick up mechs and strip those turrets.
Affirmative, sir. Salvage is en route.
He is very pleased with the mission report, Commander. The corporate VP wanted me to pass on a message, quote, "It's nice to see mercenaries who can get the job done."